I remember when I walked out of the store, the little storefront that evening, my hand was being held by a big black man that I had just a few minutes prior to this incident happening. I ran into the store, and it was a little bit late in the evening. There was a store there at the end of my street where I lived in Hartford. There was it was like a disco, a dance hall, whatever you want to call it, disco place. And then up front, there was a store, and they sold meat and different things, candies and what have you. It was a little market. And the black man that was holding my hand that night that this happened to my mom, was the meat guy. Because I remember when I ran into the store scared, out of the apartment, out of the house, because my dad was coming through the back end of into the apartment. It was a kind of straight run through. He had a knife in his hand. And all I heard was, when I was in the apartment, was, there he is, and he has a knife in his hand. So I kind of blacked out. I bolted out the door, and I ran into the supermarket thing, and the man was there, the big black man. And I remember he reached into a white jacket. It would look like a white jacket, and like the white meat cutter's jacket that they wear. It looked like he reached into the pocket of that white coat, or maybe it was something that was next to it. All I saw was, I was a little kid, very small boy. I saw him reach in for a gun. And I was, it's weird that, well, my mom tripped and fell. Of course, my dad chased my brother also. But my mom tripped and fell, and my dad was able to puncture her 5 times, 3 times in the chest and 2 times in the back. I didn't see any of that. I was at the store like I said, with the black man, and he grabbed a gun, and I said, no, don't kill my daddy, or so. I don't remember, something like of that nature. Don't kill my daddy. Don't kill my daddy. Please don't shoot my daddy, or something. Next, the siren of the ambulance was gone. They had taken my mom's body out of that area because apparently she bled profusely. And I remember walking by the police car. Now, this was back in either late 70s or early 80s. It might have been late 70s, mid 70s, I think. I was very young. I remember walking by the police car and looking at my dad. My hand was being held by this black man. He was walking me back down the street. And there was all this kind of quiet commotion there. As I said, the ambulance had come. There was a police car, and there was people around that had seen what had happened. I was protected from that. Nevertheless, I will never forget that stare. My dad was sitting there in the back seat he was on the driver's side of the police car, and it looked like he was staring through the seat. And I don't remember him looking at me. Maybe he did look at me. I don't know if he did or not, but my dad was like paralyzed in some kind of his image. He just looked like he was paralyzed, like in a hypnotic, some kind. Now I describe it today. I couldn't describe it back then. I'll never forget that experience. When my dad stabbed my mother. I remember going to the hospital and looking through the little glass door. There was a little glass door that I would look through to see my mom. And there was wire. I remember there was wires in the hospital doors, and I could see a lot of like plastic tubing and like these machines and stuff all around my mother. And I could just see her laying in the bed. I remember as a little boy. I didn't know back then. I didn't know you know, whether my mom was going to be alive or not. It was several weeks. I think it might have gone into a month or two where she was actually in the hospital. She was in the hospital for some time. She lost all of her blood. Now, I've been through many experiences. That's just one experience. And when you go through experiences like that, you end up in life, you can fall into a really bad situation. And I have fallen into bad situations. But ultimately, you know, today, of course, I'm not going to keep this video going too long. Today, by the grace of God, I've been freed up from those things. And I've overcome a lot of trauma, and I'm still overcoming a lot of trauma in my life. I have overcome gambling, and when I overcame gambling, I discovered a lot of things that were hidden. A lot of things. And you're going to find that also in your life. That's the wonderful thing about quitting gambling, is you're going to find a lot of treasures in your life. Anyhow, this is what happened back then. This is just a little story I was asked. Nancy Bogart, share a little bit more of your stories and the things that you've been through. Well, that was one story that, you know, one evening, that was on Bedford Street in Hartford, Connecticut, sometime in the mid-70s, I believe. I was probably maybe 7 or 8 years of age. I'm very grateful to be here in front of you. I'm very grateful to be free from gambling. I'm very grateful to be on a new journey, on a new lease. I'm awakening. I'm awakened. And let me tell you something, I'm going through a lot of difficulties. It's been a long, hard journey for me, but I'm not going back to gambling. If I can do what I'm doing, you can too. There's no excuses. I'm here to support you. I'm here to coach you if you qualify. I'm here to mentor you and train you, and through the community, right? Don't follow, but be a part of the community, the tribe, soldiers of self-mastery. So remember to Soldier Scribed. Please leave a comment. Please leave a thumbs up, a share if you find this video beneficial, and a donation financially. Support this mission. Listen, I invest my own money into this mission to help you on the other side and help others on an international level. So if you feel like this is worthy, if you are benefiting, please contribute. The links are going to be below in the description area. Stay strong. We're on the journey together. I'm going to be here with you. We're going to do this, I promise, all the way through. And remember, right? Where are you going? Where are you heading? Santos Jr., I'll see you at the top on the inside on my very next one, making every day super fantastic, terrific, and over the top. In spite of and because of. Peace through strength, or is it strength through peace?